you shared with me a concept that you called OBOB that I would love if you could share with the listeners, because I've been using it now, and I always give you credit. I tell it to so many people. Can you share that concept?
Sure, sure. And I drive my poor family crazy with it because my brain works in acronyms. So I came up with this acronym OBOB or OBOB. And what it stands for optimal band of busyness. And it's the context for this is, my age, my network, whatever, but I find myself, I've been having a lot of conversations with people who are moving from like a full-time 24/7 operating job to their next chapter, call it retirement, whatever. But some people have a rocky adjustment. And what I've realized, and partly, just some self-awareness on my part, I just came up with this idea that we all have this optimal band of busyness, like where if you're in that band, like you just feel like, yeah, this is good. I've got a lot going on and this is about as busy as I want to be. And if you go above that band, that's when stress comes in. Like you're just stressed out, you're juggling, you're spinning too many plates. That's not optimal. Right. But the other thing too, is like sometimes when people retire, like they suddenly go from this 24/7, 100-mile-an-hour job to basically like a 20 or 30-mile-an-hour life. And they get depressed, they get cranky, the gears start grinding and all that. And so what I always tell people is like, first of all, like be aware that you have an OBOB. Everyone's is different, but whatever you do, try and fill up your life with stuff so that you are operating in that band, because then you're going to be happier. You're going to be more productive. You're going to feel like you're kind of in the zone. And especially for successful people who have, built companies like you, right? Like you have earned the right to do more of what you want to do rather than what you should do and need to do. And it's just like, just being aware of that band and building that portfolio life. So you got enough stuff going on so that you're happy. Right. And so that's my OBOB
I
theory.
love it. I think to me, it's like being in the zone. That is the perfect way to describe it, because we talked early on when I was trying to figure out what am I going to fill my time with. And when we were talking, I was right there coming out of maybe the bottom part of that zone where I was feeling kind of depressed. I don't get depressed, and I was feeling kind of depressed by not having enough stuff to sink my teeth into. And I had friends saying to me, "Why don't you just golf? Like, why don't you just?" And I said, "I don't go. I actually never golfed. And they said, "Yeah, but you should just do that every day." I said, "I'll go. I'll
Right.
actually." Like I may go crazy. And and when we talked, it clicked for me. I went immediately and told my wife, "Listen to this thing Adam said." Oh, Bob, and that's been what I'm sharing with I'm in this group called Post Exit Founders, and it's
Oh, that's great.
2,500 founders who have exited their company at one level or another. And this is the number one topic in that
Yeah.
group, other than investing, whatever. The number one topic is, how do I get in the zone? How did you get
Right.
in the zone? Should I,
Right.
is the zone here for me, up here or down here? And there's all these threads about exactly that. And it's yeah, it's so spot on. When you described it to me immediately, I was like, yep, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think part of the challenge too, because again, whether it's wiring or the nature of the job or whatever, the other metaphor I use for myself, just in the spirit of self-awareness, like I say, I have a wood chipper brain, right? Like it's just sort of kind of
Mm.
constantly on, and I need to put a lot of like wood into it, to sort of keep it busy and, productive. Cause otherwise like my arms and legs are going to get caught in the wood chipper. And I was sharing this story with a friend of mine, and he just like stopped me. He goes, "You just described my brain in a way that I've never understood it." And just in terms of, he got me this little like Tonka toy wood chipper that I now have on my desk. So
That's great.